Donald Trump has labelled a decision to drop 2 federal cases against him a major victory for the rule of law. It means the president-elect will no longer face criminal charges related to the mishandling of classified documents and his attempts to overturn the 2020 election result. The charges were dismissed because of a Justice Department policy that bans the prosecution of a sitting president. But they were dismissed without prejudice, which means the charges could be refiled after Trump finishes his second term. Steve Clemons is with us from Paris, if you don't mind. Wow. This is very fancy. Sorry to interrupt your holiday there, Steve. Indeed. Let's get to this story. Trump sees this as a major victory for the rule of law. How do you see it?
I think it's a major victory for a president being above the rule of law. I mean, in this case, I think the charges against President Trump for, some of his private activities, these were not activities that were about him serving his presidency. He's not being held accountable for those in a way, but it shows the power of winning the presidency. And it shows that Donald Trump was right in a way that he could fight these and win. And I remember when so many legal cases were brought against him, for the way he handled classified documents and on. And many of the progressive press thought he was going to go down. But Donald Trump showed to be resilient. But this is not a rule of law story.
He's not the president now, though. I mean, if the charges are so serious, why doesn't the Justice Department go after him before he's actually inaugurated?
Because Donald Trump is coming in and he won this election fair and square. I mean, there's no doubt that he will be the next president of the United States on January 20th, 2025. And he has control of most of the levers of government right now. And it's just inconceivable that a Department of Justice could, in fact, go after someone who's coming in after they have received really what is a very decisive victory in an election.
Do you think we'll see these cases resume after Trump's next term in office?
I think it's highly doubtful, but I think it depends upon President-elect Trump's behavior. If he comes in and we see him do things that seem abusive, that create a large reaction in the body politic against him in the future, these charges can lurk out there. My sense is that probably won't happen, and we probably will never see these charges against Trump again.
Hey, Steve, it was also decided not to prosecute Joe Biden around his mishandling of classified documents. Is this a similar situation? Is this presidential privilege?
It could be, but I don't really think so. If you remember when the charges against President Biden were dropped, the person leading that investigation said he's kind of old, he's kind of bumbling, he doesn't really know what he did. Donald Trump clearly knew what he did. So there's one about competence and one about not being competent. And so they're kind of different at that time. And I think we saw a little foreshadowing of the concern about President Biden's age when those issues were dropped.
Steve, I've got a lot of parking tickets with Yarra City Council. So are you telling me all I've got to do to make it go away is become president of the United States?
That's absolutely right. If you've got anything else going on that you've been naughty about, that'll be expunged as well.
Naughty? Hey, that's my middle name, Steve.
Steve, thank you so much for your time as always.
Thank you all. Good to see you.